Hello, everybody, and welcome to another stream this Saturday. I'm hoping that your week went well, and thank you so much for checking out this video. So today I wanted to, as usual, starting with some of the updates. Fortunately, I was hoping to get a little bit more work done on this, but the the work actually, the day job has been crazy, so I did not get around to do as much as I was planning for. Such is life. But let's take a look at a couple of updates. Mostly they've been around combat and like kind of AI for the enemy. And yeah, without anything further ado, let's get into it.
Get
Uh,
back from the fence.
so a couple of I think you might be able to hear the audio as well. Let me just make sure. I think that's should be coming through, at least from the game itself. Let me just close a few tabs around here. Let's start with something that I was planning to do quite a while ago, and I might have, whoops, so you guys were able to see me. So I was I was planning on, as you can probably hear, there's like the kind of the external audio, like not external, but like the exterior audio, be it forest, kind of like the humming inside of the town. And that is played throughout the entire world, or could be in just certain locations. But I wanted to be able to control that when I go inside somewhere. So I'm gonna use this as an example here. Like this is kind of an entrance, like you can see here, exterior and interior. So let's see how that behaves. So now you should be able to hear. One second, hopefully the audio is not too loud. But you should be able to see like kind of like a radio sound being played. So that's the interior sound, right? And so you can't hear the if I kind of move away from this. So that sound for the radio was just in a little area, where like a radio would be like or something, making some noise, maybe like a running faucet or something like that um, to kind of add a little bit of an environment sound to the interiors. So right now you see like I'm still, well, inside, air quotes. I'm still inside, and but I'm not hearing anything from the exterior. So if I was to close in, you should be able to hear the radio again because I'm gonna be in that um, ambient sound area. So it's kind of you can hear it now. But as I'm going outside, now you can hear the kind of the birds singing or whatever's outside. So that was one thing that I wanted to get done just because, there are interiors, like the sewers is going to have like some water trickling or some other kind of audio. So I wanted to get that done. Okay, so the other thing was you can see like these kind of like um, I'm not sure what they call them, like whenever they like a detection meter. So you can see like that guy over there, and there's like another one. So that was a little bit of spent quite a bit more time than I was thinking of, but that was something that I wanted to get done so that way, once they see you, and when they don't see you, things, that thing goes away properly. And if I was to engage them, let's go ahead and I'm going to try and engage one of them just by equipping the weapon. So along with it, uh, with picking up items, you might have noticed in the past video that I had implemented this hand going out and grabbing something. So now it should work um, when when you carry weapons. So kind of like this, so. Um, and then it returns back on the weapon. So now let's take a look at one of these guys, kind of just to so they would notice me. So now if I kind of move away from them, those things should decrease and they should disappear once the meter is done. But then they kind of chase me down again and they should be able to find me. And these things show up again. And I'm sorry if it's getting a little too loud. All right, so let me turn down this one here. So now I'm just gonna try and take care of these guys. And the other thing that you'll notice that is like they fall backwards depending on like the direction of me hitting them. I might run out of ammo, so let me just reload. And I've upped the life so I can like withstand a little bit more damage from these guys. And I kind of suck. Yeah, so there you go. So um, once once they're dead, they just kind of fall backwards in the direction of how you shot them last. So for example, where was the last guy? Yeah, actually, they're all three. Okay, so they're all here. So you can see like they're all in like different positions once they uh once they dropped. And so I'll show you kind of how it looks from a different angle. Right now, they're all facing me, kind of just in combat. And this is something that I still need to fix, like this thing did not disappear once the 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 enemy died. But let me start this over, and I'll just equip like a pistol and do an attack kind of from the side just to see what I mean when it comes to um, like taking one of these guys out. So you can see like oops, and this one I don't have any more magazines. At least I don't think I have anything on this around here. Nope. Um, but um, but yeah, that's kind of some of the things that I was working on. Apparently, I need to like take a look at this guy because his detection thing is not showing up. Oh, there it is again. Um, so yeah, you can see like his detection meter now it's gone. He can't see me anymore because like I was in the safe area as well. But let's see if so there you go. It starts popping back up again, and now he's like getting all aggravated and trying to chase me. And that thing should decrease and then go away. So there we go. Um, and since I don't have any more bullets or at least magazines for this for the handgun, I'm just gonna put that away. Hey, Crazy Alexander, welcome, welcome. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Right. So, main updates were, this kind of combat. So whenever the enemy dies, it would fall in the direction of them being hit by the bullet. So it would get like an impulse. It's not just like, ragdoll and dropped right there, you know. So if you were to to shoot him from the side, like, or shoot him with a bow, which I still need to fix. I just didn't get around to do that. Hopefully I'll have that fixed by tomorrow so I can show you how the bow works. And I wanted to do like an exaggerated impulse on that, kind of just, hit somebody with the bow and they would just like fly across the map. But so I'll play around with that for a little bit. So yeah, um, and along with that, as I was saying, this little mechanic where you enter an interior space and the volume drops, for whatever is happening outside, and then it increases. Well, it actually so what it actually does, and I can show you here. So right now there's this sound that's going to be inside for like one of those um, like I said, a radio, like a faucet, something making noise, maybe something like a microwave or, anything inside that would make a noise. And those could be, these are easily controllable because, they're gonna be like a localized volume. They're not gonna, expand too much, for the spatialization. But when it comes to the exterior volume, I needed to find a way to reduce that because the entire map is going to be there's going to be the town, but a lot of it is going to be like the forest and the outside. So I wanted to play like just a one audio, like the kind of birds chirping, maybe some crows or some sounds like that. And whichever that might be, when you go inside, you don't want to hear that, right? You're inside. And so that's why I was working on this mechanic as well. Hey, I've been watching your videos. Your game looks amazing. Oh, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I'm glad you like it. Um, yeah, so 2 years is definitely good. I mean, it's more of keep at it, and that's why I tell everybody, just keep at it, and if you really like it, I think you're gonna end up loving it. So, but yeah, for me, it was a good experience, like Unreal. I've tried the when I first started with the whole game development, I've tried all three, and at the time I was kind of new, and I was looking at what looked better at the time, and CryEngine was the one that looked better, even though it had like the least amount of resources and documentation. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go with this one. So I spent a little bit of time in that, but then moving to Unreal, I realized, kind of uh, how good it is to have that kind of uh, um, amount of documentation and tutorials and everything. So I was able to progress pretty quick. But a lot of the concepts that I learned in CryEngine applied to here. So kind of high level concepts. But yeah, okay. Here is the new area that I was kind of mentioned in the tweet slash post on Discord. Um, and so this is it's going to perform pretty poorly because all of these are just single items. They're not instanced at the moment. So yeah, my apologies for how poorly this is gonna look. But just so you know why it's performing so poorly. So what I did is I wanted to have this area for a while, but I just couldn't figure out the best way to do it. And it's the type of area that is very time consuming in a way, um, because it has um, a lot of stuff that is just physics type of things, and how you place them, kind of matters. So I kind of I had it on the back burner to just kind of kept thinking about it and what to do. And I actually found it in Fab. So Fab has this thing with like a junkyard. And what I ended up doing is I picked a few pieces out of there. I've run some simulations myself, but I ended up with this. So um, and yeah, the package from Fab has a lot of these. Like for example, this section here is already simulated and simulated or hand built. I'm not entirely sure how they did it. I'm assuming this section here might be simulated, but all these are stacked together. They're probably hand placed. But then also all this side here. So the only thing that I went about and did was change all the shaders around. So I'm using my own shader instead of whatever hodgepodge, comes from Fab slash Quixel slash Mixer slash Epic. I'm not entirely sure. They never seem to use like the same kind of shader. But so I switched all of these to my own shader, and a lot of assets I switched around to some of the assets that I was already using in the world. Like these barrels, trash cans, some trash around the ground. I did keep a few of them that come with this package, and especially things that I didn't already have. But a lot of them I ended up replacing. And then I just used these level instances to kind of build like a path going around this area where the junkyard is going to be. So today I was planning on working a little bit more on this, just refining it a little bit, kind of surrounding it with a fence. This is outside of the safe zones. So this is not going to be in a safe zone, and you're going to be facing enemies over here. And so yeah, I was planning on kind of, finishing this off, expanding it a little bit with a couple of these level instances, because each one of these is a level instance. And that's why I think it's going to be really easy once this is packed into a pack level actor to have literally maybe 10 draw calls, because I think um, last I checked, I think I'm using between 10 and 12 different meshes. So you can probably, if you look at them, you can probably already see them, and they're probably less than that. So once these are packed into like a pack level actor, or using that plugin I mentioned a little bit earlier, that claims to be doing this packing once you package the project, um, then I think it should perform really well. So Crazy Alexander, only thing I struggle with is figuring out what to call like getting a widget from the HUD. And that was the for me as well. When I started, HUD was kind of a little bit difficult to wrap my head around, as also were like behavior trees. But yeah, there's definitely aspects of Unreal that might be a little bit hard to understand. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I mean, if you recall what that plugin is, please share it. That could be useful for myself as well and others. Um, okay. Well, let's get to it. So, and actually, I'll take you a bit around this just from the player perspective, because I was testing it right before starting the stream, and somebody mentioned, I think last week, something related to parkour. And I was able to actually jump on things. So again, not the not the dying light type of parkour, but it's actually kind of capable. So um, besides what you see in Dying Light for like wall climb or like wall run and all that kind of fancy, uh, not really world possible type of mechanics. Um, yeah, so I was able to like let's see. Um, and actually, let me minimize some of these tabs that I have. Maybe things are gonna work a little bit better. Yeah, already it runs a little bit better. So what I was able to do is kind of climb on top of that, jump on that, and then um, let's uh, let's try that out one more time. All right, so just kind of climbing on top of all this stuff, um, and from here trying to jump over here. There we go. So that kind of worked. So slightly parkour. It's not like I said, as fancy as Dying Light. I mean, I wasn't planning on making it that way, but it's just what Advanced Locomotion System comes with out of the box. Of course, with some TLC from myself. Oh, physical layout tool. Okay, well, I'll write that down and I'll give that a try. Thank you so much. Nice. Oh, I like free. I like free stuff. Thank you. And I think I mentioned this before. At this point, you guys know already that this is also part of me streaming is this stuff, kind of hearing from other people on things like this that I might have come across it, but I didn't think about it, So thank you. All right, so let's kind of sculpt this terrain a little bit. The really cool thing about this Junkyard package from Epic is that it comes with this really nice material. And so what you see here, let me just jump into one of these level instances. So what you see here, this is just this is how the plane is. Of course, I have added a few of these. Let me see, a few of these like granite meshes just to kind of break up the flatness. So just to add a little bit more of a um, kind of just some depth, you know, kind of, I wouldn't call it like tessellation, but like what would be tessellation, just to add that to this terrain, not terrain because it's just a plane. But the cool thing about this is, and this is the one thing that I kept out of that entire package when it comes to materials, this material in particular is awesome. So if you go into Vortex Paint, this is like, it was a little bit, it's kind of hard. It's a very, it's got a lot of channels that you can paint on. So it can get a little confusing as to what you're painting on this. So right now, let me just make this a little smaller. So you can paint puddles, or delete them. You can paint this lighter color pebbles, dirt material, and you can see like there's also like the darker one over here. So you can paint that as well, or you can paint something even darker than that, which is really cool. And it's just a matter of selecting the channels. And so see, like right now I'm painting some of the puddle, and it's kind of hard to get it done the first time, but once you play around with it, it's an awesome shader. But yeah, and I've had to, every single time I go into here and kind of try to edit this, it's a little difficult because you know there's uh, there's so many options, like depending on how you choose the channels. Like I want to paint this little darker section, right? And this is not really working out. Depends on these channels that you select. So let me see if I can grab the proper ones. I think blue is the there you go. So you gotta go with red, and the red paints this other kind of texture set. And then if you choose green, you get the darker one. If you hold shift, you just remove it, and you're kind of with the basic one. I think if you go with blue, then you add in the kind of puddle surfaces. So yeah, it's a really powerful shader. I really like it. So I guess green is like this really darker kind of, you would think like an oil spill, which would work really well for like a junkyard like this. Like you would get like oil spills and stuff. So yeah, there you go. And then just remove it and have this lighter color material which I plan to use as the path going in between these sections. So the one thing that I've done is, and I still need to get it done a little bit better, is, as you can see, this level instance um, has these paths going across it, right? So you got this like kind of big pile of dirt over here, or junk that you're not gonna be able to go across. But then you got these kind of just uh, kind of like a T intersection uh, about it. So yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing with Vertex Paint. Like the shader can get so complex, and I think this is like the most complex shader that I use. I have a simpler one that I've made a long time ago, and I use that as well. But this is a really good one. So I'm gonna maybe spend some time at one point to just look into it a little bit more. Um, okay, so let me let me see if I can. I think there because the other thing about this package is it also has like some really nice decals, and I'm kind of working on replacing some of the ones that I have with some of these. So yeah, it's a really great package. But like I said, I wanted to kind of create a path in between to kind of go along with these sections of the junkyard. All right, so there we go. I think that can work. Yeah, so basically, something like this, I think it works out pretty good. There's also like the grass and that comes from the terrain that's right underneath, basically. So if I was to hide this, the terrain is right underneath, so you can see some of the vegetation poking through. But overall, we get this different material. All right. Yeah, so let's try and get these section connected together because you can see like one of them is a little bit higher than the rest, and I kind of run into the same not an issue, but as I was doing before, kind of working with elevation, right? So last week we were doing the some of the residential areas, and you notice that it's cool to have it, but it's also difficult to kind of work with it, and how am I going to do the transition between this area here to this higher elevation area here. And but I like that setup. It might not be the case for everyone, so I'm kind of dealing with the added difficulty in doing that. But yeah, let me just quickly, these were like some trim sheets that are a little bit too bright, I think. There we go, like the base color. I just wanted to reduce that a little bit. There we go. Okay. So yeah, what I was saying was trying to get the transition between, you can see like this one's a little bit higher than this one, and let's see how we can get that worked out. But first, I wanted to remove some of the mulch that I have painted on the terrain, just so that I don't have I don't have the rocks kind of because the rocks spawn on the mulch layer. So well, I can paint some mulch in little parts here and there. It might not be enough to spawn the rocks, but right now they were already spawned in here. So let me try, and I'm gonna expand this out a little bit because I also want to have a section with some car pieces, and we'll run some physics simulation to kind of drop them in place and just play around with them a little bit. But I'm gonna paint some more dirt just so that for now I can remove some of these. And then once the junkyard is in place, then then I can finish off the edging of it, right? And also a good part of the edging will be helped by some of these containers, just to block them. All right. So yeah, let's get the trees simulated and the rocks. So we got the logs. Actually, let's do the trees first. All right, I think it is restimulating at the moment. There we go. All right, so now let's do the logs so I can remove some of these like stumps and like this one here, some other small ones. And then we'll also remove the rocks. we go. And then the rocks. See, I think this usually takes the longest, but maybe it's not gonna take that long this time. So Crazy Alexander, I remember the trees are using the old method. Yeah, the procedural foliage. Um, does it affect what material it should spawn the trees on? So the way I have it set up is, and I can quickly show you if you're interested, is in my procedural foliage volume. Well, actually, so the procedural foliage volume, right? The volume doesn't care about the material that's going to spawn things on, but the actual, I think it's like foliage. It's like foliage tool. I can't remember exactly the name of the class, but in each one of these procedural foliage volumes, and once this finish resimulating, we'll go into it real quick. But so let's look at the trees. So for example, the trees needs to have this, it's a tree foliage spawner, right? So if we were to look into this, right, I have a bunch of foliage types. So each one of the foliage types, what they have is, let me see, um, and actually, oh, I might need to, I might have deleted my config, not my config, but my temporary, there's like some temporary folders that get created, and it also deletes your editor preferences, and especially when it comes to procedural foliage. So for whatever reason, it deletes this one as well. I'm not entirely sure why, but so let's turn that on and go back in here. I think it might be able to show me. Hope I'm not sure if I have to restart the engine to see this. But inside of your inside of one of these, what are they called? Foliage type object. So inside of the foliage type object, there's an option here where you can. Unfortunately, I don't have it. Like I said, I think I might need to restart the engine for the thing to show up. But you will have, paint on layers and exclude from layers. So so you can type in, like in my case, you've seen that I have 4 layers. So you just need to type in mulch, or you can type in grass to be excluded from grass, so it doesn't spawn on grass. So that's how I have the trees only spawning on the mulch, right? So that, yeah, yeah. But I wish I was able to show you, but like I said, it's oh, there we go, there we go. So let me see, where is it? Growth. Can't remember. Clustering. What was the setting that it was under? Um, Placement. Okay, there we go. So inclusion landscape layers. So you can see like I've only set it to spawn on mulch, and that's how it's. And then you also have like the exclusion landscape layers. There's like, I haven't really used this one that much, minimum inclusion landscape weight. I'm assuming if the weight of your painted area is not at a full 1, so if it kind of blends in with, say, the grass, is not going to be um, spawning if this is not, if this is set to 1, but I've never really tried it too much. So that's where it's at. Hey, Imran, welcome, welcome. All right. Well, let's get back into this. I have this removed, kind of, clear cut some forest. So let me flatten this out a little bit so that it helps us a little bit with some things. There we are. Maybe around here as well. Yeah, and I've kind of kept using the procedural foliage tool just because I didn't really have the time to look into PCG that much. Um, I wish there was like, I'm not sure if anybody already has done some kind of comparison between, what's more performance, what's better performance-wise, like the PCG um, or the foliage tool, the regular foliage tool. So that part, um, I don't know if it's been done. I'd be really interested in, you know, curious in, if you can say. But yeah, I can't tell you too much. I don't have experience with it. Okay. Well, so let's try and see if we can get this transition between these um, two planes. I'm hoping it's not going to be too difficult just because um, let's try first. I might remove this kind of shack and this box here, or at least push them in a little bit. They're like right on the edge, and if I want to make that use kind of a mesh to help with that transition, I don't know how easy it's gonna be. But let's get some of these things selected here and move them off to the side a little bit. I might just delete this because it's kind of like, yeah, I don't think I really like this that much. So I'm gonna delete this and that should also help a little bit with kind of managing it. Let's remove that, remove this. And while I'm editing this instance, that's gonna happen to the other ones as well. So I might just completely remove this because I don't want all these like little shack areas in all of these instances. I just wanted to put one or two here and there. So probably going to keep this platform or at least move it to the side. Yeah, let's just remove it. Oh, which one of the plugins? Is that the one that you mentioned earlier? Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll check it out because I think I follow William. I follow his channel. So I'll definitely take a look at that. All right, so let me remove a couple of these decals as well. There we go. All right, so I'm hoping that this might make it a little bit easier on on creating the transitions. All right, so back in here, let's remove some of this corner thing here at the edge of this. Yeah, so like I said, like a really awesome shader for this ground. And remove this one. Okay. Let's see how we can manage this. So the way I was doing it for these two instances that are on the same level is with one of these asphalt meshes. We were playing earlier with last week with like that asphalt mesh just to create like the sidewalks and like some back alleys. So this is basically what it is. That's where I placed it, and it I've actually just applied the same shader to it. So I'm gonna use it over here as well. If we can move the camera a little quicker. So back in here, I'm going to try and do the same thing with this one. Well, let's see how this is gonna work. Because this being a flat plane, it just has these sharp edges. Luckily, this particular mesh is a little bit, if you look at it, it's got like a little bend in it. So I'm hoping it's gonna help with this transition. And like I say, I like to sometimes shoot myself in the foot with some of these different levels of this elevations in it, but I do like it. So so bear with me for a couple of minutes while I try to get this in. Yeah, and the other thing is like you'll see on the edges here, I need to, this is what might complicate things a little bit. I mean, not too much, not too badly, but let's see. How can we get this one in here? Let's try and also flatten the terrain a little bit. Like out here. I might need to see if I can get a different mesh for this. Yeah, see, this is why sometimes having these different elevations might prove a little tricky. And mainly around kind of areas like this. Let's see if I move this further back a little bit. All right, just bumping this up a little bit like this. There we go. So they're both in there. See if we use another one over on this side, like that. And then if we were to try and paint them, let's see how this is going to turn out. So we're going to remove what's on there. And let's try and paint some things here. I'm going to try and use the same kind of layer that is coming from here. You can see like it blends in pretty nicely. And I'm also going to paint this section here, or actually maybe this one, we can try and paint it like the lighter color, just like this. Also removing some of that shine puddle like material. And actually, let's remove it off all together. Just like that. And like that. Oh, actually, I was expecting a far worse result, but that's actually not that bad. So let me see if I can paint this area with the kind of the darker surface just to help with that transition. There it is. Okay, that's actually not that bad. And kind of going around here as well. Over on these tires. And let's turn on that even darker surface for some sections here and there. Also around these barrels, kind of trying to hide that connection, you know, kind of where it touches the ground a little bit better. We'll also mask it up with some um, maybe with one of these containers, or well, I'm gonna try and use some more of these barrels, like some more of the pack level actors that already are in here. All right, so I'm gonna try and paint these kind of something different where these meet. So just to help with that transition. So for example, in there, maybe in here. So that would be like another access point into this little area here. Okay, that's not that bad. Okay, I'll take that. So let me try and edit this up a little bit. There we go. Let's just remove this little pylon here. All right, so we have the option, and I'm thinking, let's see, how would this one of these look? Yeah, it's kind of just a little too big. So I'm going to try use some of these in here. So let me see if I can just go like this and select a couple of these in this manner. Copy it out of there. And paste here. So there we go. So I can like lift them up a little bit and let's also turn these around. And there we go. I think that might have solved our thing that we had going on. Hey Miles, welcome, welcome. And I might just do, trying to think, maybe we'll place one of these over here so it's kind of like a stopper, so it's not like, well, these things are being held together by pure will type of thing. You know, so we have a couple of these just kind of freely kind of standing over here. There we go. So yeah, that's pretty good. Let's also add something to kind of um, like a smaller pieces around here just to help with the transition between this. So it's not just this kind of L looking thing. All right, let me find those real quick. Let me see where these are at. All right, so I think what I'm going to use for that little section there, let's see, I'm not entirely sure how this one got so close onto that edge. Yeah, I guess I didn't adjust this one that well. So there we go. That's a little bit better. So kind of what I meant, a little bit of removing that little shack allowed me to just create these two paths around here. Paths. Yeah. All right, there we go. So I'm gonna place this at about the same level, just to help with the transition between the two. Over here, these corners are hidden, underneath the barrels. So I'm just gonna try and add this shack onto like right on this side over here. Yeah, with Lumen, it really having that dynamic lighting, it really helps around that area too. All right, and we'll do the same thing on this corner here, like we've done with this piece. So actually, didn't have to do too much to it. That's good. So I'm just gonna paint out this just to give it a little bit of a smoother transition. This is really harsh. And since this one is not in a level instance, it's not gonna affect any of the other ones. So let's remove this. Let's also remove the gloss on that. So let's paint this out a little bit around here. No, Shift 4. Um, hey Breeze, welcome. So earlier what I've shown was I was showing a little bit of the a little bit more of the combat. And so if you guys are interested, now I'm gonna apologize, it's not gonna perform really well just because of this section of the world is not very optimized. But I can throw a couple of enemies in here just to play a little bit with the combat and just to see how we can, because these are like kind of the type of areas where you can like hide a little bit better, throw some things as to distract the enemy, do some stealth takedowns. So yeah, if you're interested, let me know and we can try that out. Hey Miles, you're still doing that. Oh, nice. But I thought you were in a good spot with the LUT, but I'm not entirely sure what to tell you. I mean, besides what we've already talked about. All right, so let's see over here. Okay, well, let's do a test run. Like I said, I'm just gonna kind of bring this down a little bit. I'm not entirely sure what I can do to make it run a little bit better. Let me minimize some of these, all these tabs that I have opened. Maybe we can get it to run slightly better. Okay, so let me put some enemies around and have them kind of march around, do some patrolling. So let's do one around here. Maybe one around here. And I wish the one thing that I wish I had would have been even nicer. And hopefully I can get the bow fixed today, so we can try that out as well. All right, so I'm gonna do with two enemies at the moment, and let's get them something to patrol, like from here. I'm just gonna set it to looping, and then maybe 3 patrol points. So one of them somewhere around here. Before we do that, I'm gonna fix this real quick just so that it doesn't run into any issues navigating the environment. So that's number 2. I hope I got number 0. Let's see, number 1. So we'll keep number 1 around here. And then number 0 would be down here. And let's make the player maybe start from over here on this side, so you know um, the enemies don't see you at the moment. All right, and so there's our patrol path, and the enemy spawners are patrolling. Let me see, which one is this? Let's call this one um, patrol path junkyard. Okay, so let's get the junkyard for this guy and for this guy. And I was also saying that I'm going to try and get this one to, I'm going to try and get the transition, or not the transition, but this kind of, this little area here where it slopes down so that I don't think it's going to run into, it's not that high, so it shouldn't run into any issues, but better safe than sorry. So let's try and get this one in here. There we go. And this piece as well. Oh, that went a little too high. Okay, that's better. Okay, there we go. So this one, I just wanted to fix the vertex paint on it real quick. There we go, like that. And the same for this piece. Okay, there we go. So at least now they shouldn't have any issues with with the finding the path. Let's jump into game mode, but first, so one thing that I'm debating is, and I don't think I want to complicate things too much, is whether the player can pick off pick up weapons off of the enemy. So I'm kind of um, in between if I want to or not to do that. So for now, I'm just going to put in like a pistol. And this one is that's why I wanted to I was kind of hoping to for the bow. So I'm gonna definitely try and fix that today because with the bow um, is um, is gonna be silent, right? So the pistol right now is gonna trigger a noise, so the enemies are gonna go and investigate. You've shot one guy, but then whoever's around is they're gonna come and look at what happened. Um, yeah, yeah, I see that what you're saying, Breeze. Yeah, good point. Let's see. So I want to interactable equip pistol. So let's get the pistol in a magazine so we can like pick a magazine up if we need to. All right, well let's test this out. See how bad this is gonna end up. And I also want to verify the the path because if I recall correctly from when I implemented the patrol path, it goes from 013. Oh, I'm sorry, 012. For the navigation points. So my hope is that's what the case is going to be as well. Let me go into wireframe. So it looks like it. There's the guy just like kind of going around. All right, so what I'm gonna try, I think this is a little too high for me to climb on, but I wanted to try a distractor to see if they work. Whoops, he almost saw me. Come on, guy, go away. Oh shoot, did I not set that to looping? Maybe I didn't. Oh, my bad. Um, I think they're not stuck, but if let me check to make sure. I think I might have set the patrol path. Is looping. Yes, it is looping. Are they stuck in each other? That was like kind of weird. Like they run into each other and just got stuck. Uh, that's that's kind of odd. Let's see. So the point is here. It should be able to reach it. And the same with this one. Maybe at this point it was a little too tight. Let me try and move it around here-ish. That was kind of odd. And then 0 is over here. So they were able to get between the points. It's just like they got stuck in that spot right there. So the wait time is like how long they would wait in one location. Maybe what I should do here is actually set this one to be a random. Let me change this real quick. Um, so I'm gonna try and set the wait time uh, to be a random between 0 and a max of wait time. So let's say this one is going to be 3 seconds, and I'm just going to try and set it to a random between 0 and that max number, that 3. Though I thought you could do that in the construction script. Yeah, random float and range. There you go. That's what I want. So let's see. So max wait time. Since the wait time is going to be used by the, so it's going to be a min of 0 and a max of, let's say 3 seconds. Um, yeah, so that's it is demanding. I'll have to say, Unreal Engine 5 is quite a bit more demanding than 4. That's that's a definite. But I guess it boils down to what you're trying to do for a game, right? Like in my case, yeah, it's kind of realistic looking game, so it probably has a little bit more demand than say maybe something that's stylized. But even stylized game, I think, can get pretty complex. So let's see what's going on with these two guys. So that one is going that way. Let me pick up my stuff, minimize some of these windows. Oh, nope, I'm not here. There's nothing here to see. Go away. All right, he went away. That's good. Let's see if he gets stuck again. Oh, there he is. Okay, so they were able to navigate past each other. And let's see, can he do it again? They can. Oh, you guys are smart enough. Though, why did they bounce back and forth between that last point? That was kind of odd. And I'm also think I'm kind of setting this detection mechanism a little too aggressive. Like it's um, interesting. That guy still has a detection on me. I'm not entirely sure. So that's a good. This was a great test, guys. Um, oh, come on, dude. Oops, something is colliding with my hand, and I don't know why. I don't know what. I do have a Glock, but I think right now it's colliding with something, and I can't understand what. So this was actually a really good test. There is something in here that my detection for, to pull the hand back, right? So basically, I don't think it is because it doesn't collide with my body in the in the test level. So there's something else that it overlaps with, and I need to figure out what. But let's try and do it without the weapon. So I'm gonna just try and do it stealth. At least that doesn't involve anything that's looking for collisions with anything else. So I'm gonna try and see if I can do it stealth and also see if I can use that distractor. So kind of stealth on the first guy. Um, we'll see when he appears. There he goes. Oh, come on. I forgot about the second guy. So now they were all on me. I should have set them a little bit farther apart, like kind of opposite ends of the patrol path. All right, well, and yeah, I definitely need to decrease that. Like right now, they have a crazy peripheral vision, and I'm not sure if that's conducive to my health. Oh, shoot. They're a little too smart, bastards. Yeah, it's this guy is still following me. Leave me alone, dude. I'm kind of wondering if I can distract him. Nope, they're like, this was actually good. Like I was trying to distract them and apparently they were just still locked on me. All right, relax, guy. I'm your friend. And luckily I've upped my health quite a lot, so it's not like anything will happen, but let me delete one of these guys because they're like kind of a little bit too much. So let's see. Let's remove this one. Did remove what I, yeah, I think that's gonna be a little bit easier. One shot if you do a stealthy, yeah, but like I said, if there is a noise that's being spawned, and I think I might be close enough that the other guy would come and investigate and will find me um, in the middle of the business doing section of combat. So let me just play with one enemy here. We'll see if we'll test a little bit of the distractor things as well. Let's see if that guy is gonna go and check it out. Oh, that's actually he's not. Oh, there he is. So this being kind of circular, I think he's gonna follow me around until he loses interest. So let's see if I kind of go around here. Let's see, where is he? Oh, he's like, he's persistent, this dude. Luckily, I have a lot of life, so, but he's like kind of just going around me. My brother, just leave me be. I'm trying to run away from you, can't you see? I need to set them so they don't run as fast as I do. Oh, he's like on the other side. Um, Let me try something. Can I try and lose him? That guy's persistent. So Breeze, are you planning on making the game paid? Yeah. I haven't thought of it at the moment, but my initial thought was somewhere in the $10 to $15 range. I guess we'll see how people like it um, once they try the demo. But thank you so much for asking. Yeah. Okay, I think he went back to his normal business. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Well, like I said, depending on how much people like it, I'll kind of consider the pricing as well. But I also want to make it affordable, like I don't want to, overcharge for it. So um, All right, so we took care of that guy after a lot of running. Oh, that's actually interesting. Where did he end up? Where are you, my dude? Oh, there he is. Huh. How did you get over here? Yo, yo, wake up, wake up. Yeah, but um, but that's kind of my initial assessment on it for price wise. Because in the end, I want more people to play the game than money to be made out of it. So if I, um, you know, if I can get, because I'm also planning for like a part two for this game. So in my head, I've kind of drawn out this, kind of put the story in place so that a part two could fit as well. I think, it's better with the first one to get some advertisement and people play it, try it out. Maybe, if they don't like it, they can have some suggestions so I can improve on part two. And yeah. Uh, so question is the game going to be PC only or also on Mac? Just PC. I'm not sure. I think you can build. I'm not even sure. I don't think you can build for a Mac. You might be able to, but I don't think you can. No, not these types of games. I've never seen a game like this played on a Mac. Unless you have Parallels, so you're actually running Windows on the Mac. But yeah, like I have a friend that has a Mac and he played Far Cry 5, but through Parallels. So basically, he didn't play it. He hardware wise, he played it on a Mac, but operating system wise, he played it on Windows. So what's the point in getting a Mac to run Windows on it? I don't see that logic. But um, okay, so that was Breeze. Thank you so much for asking. That was a great test for myself as well, just to see what's going on with some of the NPCs navigating around this area that's a little bit more um, complex than just flat floor and walls. But yeah, okay. So like I said, I wish there was actually we can test the yeah, I wish we can't test the pistol because of that weird collision. So I'll need to take a look and see exactly what's interfering with the actually kind of have an idea though. Let me check something out with this guy here. Give me just 1 second. I'll have to look at it later on today. But I think there's something like either related to this dynamic pulse system that I've created that it's got some weird overlaps. Let me jump into game mode one more time and see if I move away from this area, if that collision still happens. Yeah, Parallels is great, and like Mac and Apple, they if you want to build something for Mac or Apple, you have to have a Mac or an Apple, and you know you can't develop games, PC games on Macs unless again you have Parallels. But let's see. Huh. So it is colliding with some kind of thing in there, but what is it? It's not the capsule. It's something. Okay. So I'll have to look into that and figure out what that might be. It is kind of weird though. So let me see if I can like get this guy to. Nope, too late. Can I hide over here? Haha, sucker. I was telling you about stealth a little bit, but don't see me, don't know. Okay, there we go. So I guess we were able to practice a little bit of that. Hmm. I might need to revisit. Can I do this again? Come find me, bro. Oh, you found me this time. Uh, I don't like you. All right, find me again. This is like a hide and seek now. Where is he? Where is he? Where'd he go? I think he might have given up, huh? And he probably went back to his patrol route. Oh, there he is. Yeah, I think it's a little bit too. So the way I have this detection done is also based on distance. So the closer you are, the faster that thing fills up. So if you're like really close, it fills up instantaneously. And I'm thinking it might be a little bit too aggressive on like how close, like, um, like see, like right there, it just instantly detected you. I mean, I think it's a good thing. I mean, it is realistic, but I'm not sure how frustrating it might be. See, like, yeah, of course they see you. Well, I mean, not in all video games, right? Uh, oh, this guy. I need to. In one way, I'm kind of thinking I need to, make these guys a little dumber. But let's see, where is this guy at? No, so I was kind of thinking about that, kind of being like the main bad guy. Um, but I'm still debating on that because, like, if you think of like all these enemies are the same in a way. Like, it's kind of the same character, and you know, it wouldn't be too much extra work to get a boss in there, but it'd have to have like different abilities, like different type of things that it might shoot, uh, you know. So I I'm kind of torn. I mean, probably definitely not going to be in the demo, but for the main game, I was thinking of having one or two. Like kind of the main bad guy of whatever's happening in this world, or and maybe one of his like direct lieutenants or something like that. So, but not like, every single one of these locations is gonna have like a boss, like a mini boss. So that's why I'm kind of debating on that at the moment. And kind of lost this guy. Where is he? Oh, he's over there. Why is he stuck there? Let me go back into lit mode. Yo, my guy, what's going on? This is a good. Let's see. What is he trying to do at the moment? He is. Hmm. That's interesting that he's. So I'm detected, but he's not. I wonder if he ran out of bullets though. That might be the case actually. I should have had the kind of its behavior tree open just to troubleshoot it. Um, so right now they're not joined together yet. but at least for the demo, I'm hoping I'm gonna try and get maybe an hour worth of gameplay. So there's going to be like a few missions that you're going to need to complete. So that would involve, kind of the time to get between locations, dialogue time, and so the secrets in the demo. I was thinking about that, kind of alluding to the story a little bit, but I'm still I'm still trying to kind of plan what to give away from the story, you know? Because like I said, you're looking for these two people. This is your main goal, looking for these two guys. And, um, you're going to have to complete some of the missions in the game to get some more details and get more details. So I am trying to give out some teasers. Let's put it that way, teasers, right? And not give out the story. So that's kind of that's on the back of my mind right now, and just trying to set that up. Excuse me, I just had to get some water. But awesome questions, Breeze. Thank you. Thank you so much for asking. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, sounds good. I'll be here, guys, for another half an hour, just kind of keeping it to our regular scheduled um, time, for like a couple of hours is what I'm going for. So yeah, so I got some of these sections here. What I wanted to create is another section with some like car parts, and that's why I mentioned earlier that I wanted to have some to do some of these kind of physics simulations. So we'll bring those in, kind of put them in one corner, and then simulate them, and then just leave them there, kind of like junk type of stuff. And there we go. We kind of have this other section on this side. We'll uh, we'll work on connecting them just like before. And behind here, I think one of these big containers should do the trick pretty well. I'm just trying to keep these on the grid as best as I can. Like so. So it's kind of like the things are leaning onto something over there, and there'll be another path through here. All right, so in this area is where I want to try and run some of these simulations on these pieces. And let's see, how do we want to put them together? I'm gonna try and box them in a way. So like this, like this. So these would be our kind of collision spaces. And let's add some of those. some of those meshes in. So I do have, I kind of got it off of a Humble bundle, and which was great. I, that I got a ton of vehicles, and what's cool about it is that they come with parts. So, like this is what I meant by parts, like all these, like a trunk lid, doors, wheels. I already have wheels, so I'm not going to reuse the same wheel. I mean, or a different wheel. But all these parts are really, really useful. So we'll see how it works once we simulate them. Let's give that a try. So I'm going to drag a bunch of these in here. And also what I'm going to do, let's see if we can expand this out a little bit. Maybe we'll give it a test first time. I'm also going to place a couple of these cars underneath. So kind of like this, just a junker. I'm probably going to need to edit this particular mesh because doesn't have this wheel hub closed off. But it'd be something like this, and then all around it. And the nice thing with this is that I can just edit the shader and make it look a little rusty or a little worn down. All right, so I'm gonna try and drag a few more parts in here like this. Let's see, a few more doors. There we go, like that. And I don't want to go too crazy with the types of doors, so I got like what, 6 of them at the moment, 7. Just to, once I'm gonna have like a bunch of these, they're all just gonna be, instanced once the simulation has completed. So let's try and grab these in here like this. So I'm gonna grab all of these guys. And one thing that I forgot, I should have done this a little bit earlier, is I'm gonna group these for now just to have a little bit of an easier time selecting them. And in my world partition, data layers, what I wanted to have is a data layer for my junkyard. I don't have one yet. So I'm going to go ahead and create one. So bear with me for a second here. All right, so we have a junkyard area. And in here, oh, come on. Junkyard area. There we go. So I can have this group, and if I go into data, layer, asset, I can place it on this layer. And if I want to hide it, it's going to hide everything that's on there. I guess I missed one. Oh, that's all right. And this is a group, I believe. So we just did that. Let's ungroup this and put this one as well on this data layer. And apparently it is. Okay, that's good. So let's see, do we have these? Besides this one, we don't have this one on there. So now the thing I like about doing it this way is I can like right click on this and then select actors and data layer. And besides the car, I'm gonna go ahead and have these simulate physics, and I'm gonna duplicate them. It might be maybe a little too many, but we'll see. We'll see how these simulate. I'm also curious about how this one's gonna end up. All right, so now uh, this one I don't think we had it, but all these should have simulate physics, and let's uh, let's give it a try. And for that, I'm just gonna go here and then simulate. And it might be a little bit odd because it also loads, I'm not sure why, but it also loads my menu, like the game menu when I simulate. But let's see how this turns out. Didn't turn out that good. I'm not sure it didn't do this the last time, like the loading screen. So at least that was the result, but it did load the loading screen oddly. So it does do the simulation. So what I'm gonna do is let's push this a little bit forward to here. Let me select them again and try and place them in the corner here. And we'll run the simulation and then apply its status. So even in this case, like in my case, it has that loading screen, from on the UI side, something on my end. But we've seen that it did simulate, and now let's just have it simulate and then apply the changes. I think we should be good to have the changes applied. We'll see how they end up. So there we go. Save state for 22 actors. And there we go. So we got like a kind of a stack of various parts, though I think they do have some funky collisions. But overall is not that bad. I'm okay with that. Um, am I late? How long are you gonna? So hey, Chrysaorus, I'm gonna be here for another 20 minutes or so. Yeah, good point. Good point, guys. I was so that was a good thing. Like when I kind of reference, wherever I go, I reference Far Cry 5. But I'm gonna look into Far Cry 5 because I think they don't have they might have it like you're saying, Breeze, just on metal because it's kind of it's a loud sound. So I might be doing it, kind of um and on metal, but only when you're standing. So not do not create a sound if if you're on metal and crouching. You know what I mean? All right, so let's see over onto that side and this piece here. I can use that to transition over into this dirt. Actually, didn't think of using it this way. That could be pretty good. So there we go, like this. Because I do have this kind of darker surface material that could help with the transition to this kind of ground surface. So let's do a little bit more vertex paint. Let's actually do this. I'm going to select all of them. I'm not sure why I didn't do that. But so I'm going to remove everything on this side like this. Then let's just paint that darker surface around here. That's not, is it the darker? This one's all, I might want to edit the shader a little bit and change this one, this material, change this actually to be over to my dirt surface, like the terrain dirt. And that should help with the transitions quite a lot. There we go. That actually helps quite a bit. I think there. Um, so Breeze, what are you referring to with the water panel? Is it, you mean this one? Yeah, this one is not. It is floating a little bit above ground. But I was gonna mask this off with you know, some stacks of tires or some. Oh yeah, yeah. So right now it isn't anymore. And that section there. Let me see. Where is the? I can use one of these guys like this, just to hide these transition pieces where it goes to that to the dirt terrain. There we go. A little too organized, so I'm just going to use a couple more of these. Hey, Ochine, welcome, welcome. Oh, thank you so much for dropping by. Thank you so much for your comment. Yeah, it's a lot of fun for me too. So thank you. All right, so we got this section here. This is going around here. That's good. And we'll see how we can get this one in here. Maybe this one, we can make this one a little smaller. Or we can use, let's see. Maybe we can make it like this. Yeah, I think we'll do that. So that way we can transition into this other section here. And for that, let's see, what do we want to use? Barrels? Yeah, I think we could use this level instance. Let's see how this is gonna work. Let's see, I think that's a little too high. Might be better there. Though it just needs to be pushed back a little bit to about that point. And whether this is what this corner is gonna end up, this is kind of the extent of the junkyard, just this part here, and then probably one or two on this edge, like maybe like tires or something like this. But let's see, how would this look on this side? I think placing it here could work pretty well, and this being like where the delivery truck would go. I think it could work here. Yeah. Whoops, I didn't want to delete it. But as a placeholder for now, I might not, go as crazy with this pile over here, but I think this might work that way. Okay. I'm still debating on this one over here. Let's see, maybe push this back a little bit. And for this particular level, I don't really have any reference in mind as anything past this little section, you know. But I know that I wanted to have it like a corridor type of setup where you kind of go around and with these metal containers, they could be as like a retaining wall for these barrels. So on that side, it could work on, like on this end, it could work. But at this, like at the edge of the junkyard, I'm still debating where this is a little too much. So I'll look into maybe later on tonight whether I can break this down into, because right now, like I said, I run off of two level instances, right? With both of them using the same assets. So, instancing should be really efficient for this. But it's kind of this edge here where I'm just a little bit on the fence on what I want to make, because I want to cut this off and just, round it out a little bit in this pile. Um, so that's where I'm a little bit, yeah, I might just not even use it at this point. Let's just try and remove it for now. And I'm going to use like one of these planes for, what would be like the parking lot, so to speak. If you want to think about it like where the truck would park, right? So right around there. And like we've seen, these can easily blend. I can blend between them with that mesh. So yeah, there we go. So, the truck would back into here, would dump its stuff. Um, I might need to push these off a little bit, like this on that side, and maybe get rid of that. It's not really helping any. So there we go. And I do have like right inside here, there's this like a little bit of a smaller stack of tires. So I can use one of these just to put it on this side. So it looks like, some of them were already taken out, and it's also somewhat supporting this little leaning tower of tires, if you want to call it that. All right. And so that's pretty good there. Let's see kind of the transition between these. I think this might need to be a little lower just to make it a little simpler. There we go, like that. Can bump this up a little higher. Hey Breeze, thank you so much for stopping by. Yeah, I'm about to, close this thing off here and end the stream for today as well. But yeah, I'll take a few more minutes just to get this in, and yeah, this should be a really good stream for me as well. And we'll continue tomorrow. So I plan to do it again tomorrow, same time. And I was also thinking of doing it during the week at like later times. I'm not sure if other people would also be okay with that. By later times, I'm thinking, maybe, past midnight, um, Eastern European time, or um, so that might be good for people, say in Asia, Eastern, Western Coast, and that in that time zone. So I'm gonna try and do a few of those as well, just to see how many people join. But yeah, tomorrow same time. That's what I'm currently planning, and I'll schedule it on YouTube. Hopefully hopefully people get notifications, and also post it in Discord. Yeah, sounds good. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and hope to see you on the next one. Have fun with Minecraft. Yeah, see you soon. See you soon. Take care. All right, so let's try and get this in here um, for the transition between these two meshes, and I'm trying to sculpt the terrain. It's a little bit higher, just so that to remove this little edge here, if possible, like this. All right, so let's grab this piece and this piece and do a little bit more vertex painting. First, I'm going to try and remove the kind of like all the reflective surface material, and that actually blends pretty well. And also remove it on this side and paint a little bit of the darker surface like this just to blend with this section here. There we go. All right, so they blend in pretty good. I mean, you can see it if you're really like coming up close and looking at it, but overall, I think the pieces blend pretty good. All right. Well, so guys, yeah, I still have some pieces to finish off around here, and you've already seen the process. So that's going to be a little bit of just grunt work type of thing, not a whole lot of fun to look at least. But thank you, thank you so much for stopping by and taking time out of your Saturday. And I hope to see you on the next one. Like I said, hopefully tomorrow, same time as today. If not, I'll definitely I'll schedule it on YouTube, and you should be able to see when that happens. So thank you, Crazy Alexander. Thank you, Breeze. Hochina, thank you so much for stopping by. Everybody else, uh, y'all take care. Imran, thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, take care, everybody. Bye.